Well, it may be a difficult day. It may have been a slightly dodgy start, being able to get me on the screen. Your eyes do not deceive you. We have gone back in time, and somehow I am back doing this. Yes, after winning the thing, doing a year as co-chair, learning the ropes, managing 4 seasons, all on my own. I hand over the reins. Within a couple of weeks, I'm asked to take back over a club. I do so willingly. Season gets defunct for reasons, well, we all know why, not to the fault of the majority of those that in power at the time. Another season starts, a new dawn for the brand new Super League. And again, the season could not be completed with the team that started in charge for reasons not entirely of their own making. But the Super League does not die on my watch. And here I am to try and just steady the ship a little bit. I'm delighted so many of you have been able to join me this evening in such uncertain times. I want to say hello and good evening to each and every one of you. I can see you in the chat with the comments. Hello to everyone. We've got Brosette scoring in, quite possibly. What a monologue. What a man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bit cringe, but welcome back. Well, you know, cringe is what I do best. This is what happens when, you know, I've got no time to prepare, really. Fyfie at the wheel, but for how long is the question? Was that Shakespeare? No, it certainly wasn't Shakespeare. But thank you for likening me as such. I'm joined tonight by the man who's basically contributed significantly towards the situation we find ourselves in. But he promises he's going to be on his best behaviour. Evening, Ian.
Good evening, mate. It's a pleasure to see you back at the wheel, Fyfie, mate.
Yeah, it's slightly surreal being here. I've got used to the team that have been in charge and having all their happy smiley faces, so it's a bit surreal being back here. But I did get messages from almost all of them beforehand to, you know, wish me luck and stuff, and I very much appreciate that. And hopefully, as the confident message I sent to Dimble earlier, it is like riding a bike, and you never forget what you're doing.
I was just going to say that, mate. You've came back in seamlessly. Your wee monologue was fucking superb, and as I say, it's just a pleasure to see you back. You came in, saved the day, and from my personal point of view, it is extremely appreciated, mate. It's good to have you back.
Well, it was a case of that or nothing, and as I said, the Super League means too much to me to just let nothing happen. Up the Super League, indeed, Martin. Smuts has gone straight in with the insults at you, which I'm sure you're not too worried about. Evening to Steve, who snuck into the chat as well. Hope you're well, pal. Questionable top there. Craig? Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, let's have a quick intro. Top of the league, as things stand, and been there for a considerable amount of time. Everyone's suggesting it's you or Burn for the title this year. You must be pretty happy with how things have gone.
It's been good thus far, Fyfie. It has. It's been enjoyable. On a wee bit of a slip the past couple of games also, we'll be hoping to bounce back this evening. But no, there's a few teams, East Coast coming on strong. Yourselves, who I did mention, are capable of making a charge. So there is.
Oh, mate, we'll fall away. Don't you worry about that. We will definitely fall away.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. You've got a really strong side, but there is genuinely a few extremely strong sides that I like. So it is still open. And I definitely, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I would have said top 2 was nailed, but I'm not quite so sure now, to be honest.
Well, you're fairly comfortable on your perch there. If we say that the top 4, you'd imagine, are pretty much there with just a few games left to go. If you look at my side, Exiles there, 5th, 31 points, right down to probably Stanley in 13th on 24. It's virtually any one of those sides for those 2 remaining places, isn't it? And you know, we seem to say it every year, but this is the tightest I can remember it.
As I think also this season, the quality of the squads, there's not so much disparity between the squad quality, I don't think. I think the squads are pretty relatively evenly matched. I think with everybody playing each other, there is inevitably going to be like someone, maybe one or two that can maybe pull away. I don't know who's going to drop out though. I think, as you say, it's maybe that one place they're fighting for, because I think you'll make it, to be honest. So that one place, and as you say, there is any one of fucking a load of teams. I would maybe say, I don't know, Sloss Stackington maybe. I don't know, but again, a couple of wins in their back in it, so it depends on the fixtures. But it's set up lovely for the
absolutely.
For the
we had a very much appreciated bonus round last night. Let's just remind ourselves what happened. So Badgers ran out 3-1 victors against Los Santos. Los Santos, who are under new management as of this evening. Hodgie, one of the all-time greats, has decided now is the time, and delighted that Jamie's managed to step in. We're going with Hodgie's tactic tonight, but Jamie's on hand for subs, and then he'll take over properly from the next game week. Dudley Hill drawing 2-2 with Sancte. East Coast smashing Foss Road 4-1. It was an interesting one, that. I caught that game, and it looked quite tight, and then just at the end, East Coast made it very comfortable for themselves. Fulchester's bad run continued. They lost 1-0 at Vikings. Sloths picked up a 2-1 win away at Burn, which saved your blushes a little bit, as you said, after Stackington beat you 1-0. And then at the bottom there, Exiles. I actually managed to catch the majority of the game, but Smuts was deputising beautifully for me. And despite having a man less, we somehow managed to get a 2-0 win. That brings us to this evening. We've got Coast versus Stanley. Exiles Fulchester, big game, around that dotted line. You're at home to Dudley, another big game in the top 6. And for those just below watching, Santos at home to Burn. Sancte Badgers, big game that as well. That could go any which way you like. Sloths versus Foss Road. And at the bottom there, Vikings versus Stackington. What else have we got going on in the chat? We've got everyone we've got a couple of people here expecting an apology. I don't necessarily think that's coming. Good vibes. Thank you. Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. What else have we got here? Waiting for a... Okay, indeed. Yeah, Rox is Fulchester now. He's here to bring the culture. Peasants. Smuts, who is asked to go first because he's still very much sleep deprived, is asking Alf to go gentle. And then we've got Swan saying, evening, lads. Good evening, sir. Hope you're well. So Ghost Game permitting, we are going to start with... where are they? I've got to get used to where all the names are again now. General Smuts's Foss Road. They are away at Sloths. I'm not peasant, I drink Fosters. Love it. So as you can see there, Saviola injured. That has prompted a couple of changes. Heskey comes in up top. Bishkan comes in to hold in midfield, with Vieira being pushed up to centre mid. I'm interested in your thoughts on that one, because I actually think, from what I can recall seeing in previous seasons, obviously we all know Vieira's an absolute monster, but I actually think he contributes more in centre mid than he does in DM. He's obviously exceptional in DM, but I do think he contributes more from centre midfield.
I do. See, just before I get that, I would just personally want to just a wee shout out to Hodgie, because he has been a league stalwart, and I think it's quite sad to see him leave. So I think he does deserve a wee mention, because he's been around for a while and has a really good record. So I just to wish him all the best and stuff.
And I have to say, Duggan put a quality thread out of some of his favourite moments shortly before we started, which was remembering the time where we all thought he'd been kidnapped was brilliant, superb.
I've seen that, but I just wish him all the best. The Unicorns, again, it's a squad. I like the Vieira and DM, Vieira and MC. I've had Vieira, and for me, he's always going to attract a big fee, but for me personally, I think you can get just as good numbers, well, I did anyway, out of a lesser name DM, because DMs are paying a penny on the game. In centre mid, I played him there as well, and he's just never really done all that much for me. So if I had him, I would probably look into cash in for a big striker. But again, he was consistently my highest rated player of the year and stuff. So he's obviously a quality player. But if it was me personally, I'd probably be looking to maybe get even a 2-for-1 or something for him. But in that side there, Heskey up front. Obviously, Saviola starts when he plays, but again, I think if Smuts hadn't fucking fannied about and done his crazy formations, he might well have been in a better position than what he's in currently. But I still think he's got a big chance, and it's a side I like.
Absolutely, and as was well documented, he said this is a season 2 squad, so it's going to be very interesting to see, depending on what happens moving forward, how this team progresses. I would ask all the managers that are obviously watching on. I'm fairly confident that I followed everything, but it was a little bit rushed. So if you can just shout out any errors you do see in the team submission, I would appreciate it. Let's move over to Sloths, who are still under Alf's supervision, and he's gone 1 at the back tonight.
Lovely. Love to see it. I mean, it's no coincidence that the Sloths upturn has came since Alf got back involved with Wob. I think it's a bit pathetic that he's having to bring other people in to run his team in that, though. I think that's a bit of cop-out, personally. But again, it's another strong side. Alf, I mean, he's narrow. That was a bold strategy, but I didn't think it was ever going to work consistently. Maybe the odd game, but I think this is more like it. And the 1 at the back always gets you a result. See, if you're struggling with that, I think chuck a wee sneaky 1 at the back in, and I'd say more times than no, you will get a result. Again, consistently, I don't know if it worked all the time, but certainly I like that, and I can see them getting a result the other night, if I'm honest.
Mentioned Vieira in centre midfield for Foss Road. Looking at the CM line here, Van Bommel and Zidane, on paper, is an unbelievable midfield, but in CMSL history, is there ever been a more myth centre mid duo?
No, I agree with that. Van Bommel's been one I wouldn't touch with a barge pole, if I'm honest. Again, just no one that I'm overly keen on. I think you can get bigger numbers with a lesser name. It's good to see he's got Butt back in. I don't know if he was suspended or whatever, but Ado and Butt are absolutely phenomenal in there. He's Benotto at right wing backs, and maybe a bit of a funny one. I don't know if he's got better options. Maybe Zaure has he maybe got as a right wing back option. I'd probably prefer there. But that aside, I mean, it's a pretty good team. And Penn's up front's always going to grab you a goal. And again, it's a good side. Zidane is one I hate, and I know you've got a really burning hatred for him as well, which I can't really blame you for. But it's Macon's had half decent side there. As I say, his defensive midfield line is fucking unreal. So I do fancy them to get something here.
I'm delighted that this one hasn't gone to a ghost game. Smuts told me earlier he wasn't feeling great because it's away from home, and we all know what his away record's like. But any predictions for this one?
What? Initially looking at, if Sloths were away from home, I would, funnily enough, had them clear favourites. But with being at home, 1 at the back can sometimes be a bit iffy. But in saying that, I'm going to say a narrow Sloths win. Sorry, Smuts.
A narrow Sloths win. Well, let's find out, and let's see if I've still got it in me to do this properly. Some early action, and it does seem to be the home side who built the early momentum. Foss, though, starting to play their way back into it, and they have an attempt that Alephopoulos does save, but lets it roll out. Still, the away side come forward. It's starting to even out as we go past the 20-minute mark. So Roberto very much involved, though, seeing Zidane and Vieira going head-to-head a lot. Zidane with the shot this time around. Raul as well. So many talented individuals within both of these sides. And there is the goal. And it's Eric Addo on 39 minutes that gives the home side the lead. Approaching half-time now as Foss hit the side netting. Heskey with an opportunity as well. But Sloths with the last one of the half, almost doubling their advantage. An action-packed first half, it seemed, at least in the text, Ian.
It was, and I thought Sloths maybe started better, but I had a sneaky suspicion Foss Rob were going to nick one there, so I think that's a big goal for Sloths. Eric Addo, obviously, Haggis, left wing-back legend, getting a goal there, but So looking at that, it's been a pretty fucking tight, pretty close game, should I say? And I think Foster don't know it by any means. I think if he has a wee, I don't know what his bench options are, but I don't think it's beyond him anyway to establish something here.
Well, let's go over to the home side first. Quick look, all sevens with the exception of Aleph Poulis, who we mentioned, a couple of eights, and Ado, the goal scorer, also on an 8. No one's condition below 90%. A very, very talented bench, particularly in the defensive stakes. So that may come into play a little bit later in the game. Would you be going unchanged looking at this, Ian?
Definitely, mate. There's no 6 done pretty well in the lead. I'd be definitely rolling to 60 there. There's nothing really standing out that you would want to change at this stage anyway.
Let's move over to Smuts' team, who's got a mix of all sorts. Peruzzi there on an 8, couple of 6s in amongst mostly 7s. Heskey, however, on a 5. Conditions, again, no real concerns there. No one below 93 is the lowest, as far as I can tell.
I think if that's Rocky Santa Cruz, he'd be coming on instantly for Emil Heskey. I don't know why he never started him, to be honest. I would have started Rocky over Emil. Raul's another one who just doesn't really do much in the Super League. I think I've maybe seen one season that he's done anything remotely half decent. But I think that'd be the main change anyway. Alf coming in with the big moves there.
Smuts agrees with you as well. It seems Santa Cruz on, Heskey off, so I will make that change and just give both managers 30 more seconds in case there's anything else, because there was never an all done or anything.
It's good to see the keepers both do relatively well, because there's nothing that fucking rankles on a keeper doing shit. It just ruins the whole fucking game, doesn't it? So that's good that they're not getting keeper stickers yet.
Absolutely. I definitely got the sense there's still goals in this, but you're right. If the goalkeepers are performing to that level, there might not be. And there might just be lots and lots of chances. Smuts confirming he's done with just that one change. Just wait for Alf to confirm that he's done. But I'm guessing, as you mentioned it, you think Santa Cruz coming on for Heskey, that improves Foster's chance of equalising?
Yeah, for me, I'd maybe even look to go 2 up front with the one behind. But again, he's kind of limited and maybe pushing Raul or Frank up. But I think maybe if he doesn't get a goal and it remains at 1-0, I'd definitely be looking at doing something like that. And Sloss, I think, just lost just as is, I think, if they didn't get another goal, that is. But I think they'll take that.
We stop on 63. I'm not going to apologise. It's just where it stops. We start with the home team. We've got a prediction coming in that this ends 1 apiece. Be interesting to see if it does. Starting with the home side, we've got Lee Young Pyo, who was mentioned by Alf before the game, moving up to an 8. Everyone else remaining where they were. Still no condition concerns. It looked in the text to me like Foss were still in the game. Santa Cruz had 1 or 2 opportunities. But do you think that Alf can be quite content with this team, or would you be looking at the qualities of the likes of Lasisi and Zauri and saying maybe freshen it up just for the last half hour?
See, I don't know what rating's Bonotto on, because I'd be bringing Zauri on for Bonotto. I know, even just because he's a bit more defensive minded, that would be one I'd probably be looking at. I don't know if I'd be wanting to muck about with the shape too much. I think maybe going to 2 at the back at this stage and maybe be a wee bit of a risk, just messing with the equilibrium a wee bit. But I think that probably the one I'd be looking at. Jonsson, I don't know what's the ratings, Fyfie? What's the match ratings?
There you go. On a 7.
I'd be hooking Bonotto for Zauri, I think. And that aside, I don't think I'd be doing anything else personally.
Well, Alf's going Kalu for Enrique. While we wait to see if anything else is coming, I'll just confirm that. Move over to Foss Road. Ratings are going up. Larson now the only player below a 7. Peruzzi maintaining his 8. Looking at the conditions, again, nothing too alarming there for me. So it's just a case that, has he got anything else on the bench really to turn the tide anymore for him?
I would say I overlooked it. He was playing 3 AMCs. I would definitely be moving either Franca, maybe even Franca and Raul up top and keeping the Coburn behind, or certainly one of them anyway up top. I think I'd definitely be doing something like that.
If you really wanted to go for it, could you maybe drop Vieira back again and bring Titov on for another attacking option?
Quite possibly, man, because and Biscan's one I absolutely fucking hate. I don't know. I think Rox is well aware of my hatred for him. Biscan and there's another one, Tudor. I always get them mixed up, but I fucking hate both of them. So, he probably wouldn't be my side. But that's always an option. But again, I think it'd be an attack, and I'd probably leave it as is at the back and just maybe move possibly Raul to the left striker, and maybe you could maybe go for Titov and push Titov for Franca, push him back. He's certainly got options. He's not out it, but I think he needs to do something. I wouldn't just roll.
Alf's saying that he doesn't keep clean sheets, so that might be something that he needs to keep an eye on. I am aware from doing this in times past that people in the YouTube chat can generally see the comments slightly before I do, but nothing has come through my chat screen yet from Smuts. As I say that, here it comes. So I'll flash that up on the screen and then see if I can follow it. So Raul, RSC, Franca as a top three. Rakova behind central with an arrow. Titov on for Bishkan and swap with Vieira. So I've gone like that, which I believe matches everything that Smuts has said there.
It is, and that was the first thing I said. That probably would have been something that I would have done if not exactly what I'd done, but pretty much that was his best option in my opinion. So there's not American really do. Maybe extend the wing back arrows, but apart from that, I think he's done all he can, to be honest.
Martin says, nice bit of irrational hatred towards Bishkan and Tudor there, Ian. Everyone likes a pantomime villain.
I know there is genuinely no reason. I just didn't like them. I think Tudor's a bit of a 13, 14 sort of player merch, and I just never really been a fan.
Well, let's play through to full time, see what happens. Alf pointing out that Smuts has gone 3 up top against 1. Penalty claim waved away. And there is Kalu on his debut to make it 2 for Sloths.
That's heartbreaking, that. I thought they were right in it there first road. I could have seen a goal there.
And then, Rakova's pulled one back. Are we going to get late drama? Let's slow it down just in case. Franca now. Raul. Hits in Rakova. Hits the upright. Into injury time. Smuts already saying that they've been robbed. It's not over yet. Zé Roberto. Still Zé Roberto. Alephropoulos gets there, though. It's gone out of play. And there is the final whistle. Sloths do hold on. They're one at the back tactic. And Alf continues to get performances and results out of this Sloths team. Congratulations to them. The away curse continues for Foss Road. An entertaining game. 22 attempts on goal between the two sides. Sloths a little bit more accurate and a little bit more clinical with theirs. Similar ratings in terms of passing completion. Sloths slightly better in the air, but an entertaining first game, Ian.
It was really entertaining. Firstly, I think Foss Road can consider themselves a wee bit unlucky there. I thought when he made the changes, I thought they were going to score and obviously get the pen disallowed. I thought they were going to get back in it. Then that sucker at the second, but I thought they maybe deserved a point there. But again, credit to Al for keeping it going. They're on some fucking run.
They certainly are, and some very, very good ratings there, including a 9 for Lee Young Pyo. Despite being on the losing side, Raul picks up man of the match for his 9 rating as well.
Deserved.
Oh, your mic just seems to have gone on us there, Ian. I can see your mouth moving, but there's no sound coming through. While you reconnect that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You hear me? I say headphones, mate. Yeah. Apologies. I think a point would have been deserved, but again, you credit to Alf. He's a bit of a magician, isn't he?
He certainly knows what he's doing.
Can you hear me, Fyfie?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Let's move on. And, Rox has asked, can we be soon? Yeah, I've got no problem with that at all. So let's stick as the game intends with Fulchester. So Macca submitted the team. Rox is overseeing things with Jamie going over to LSK. Smuts taking the defeat graciously, as you can imagine. So this is the team that has been selected by Maka. He has gone 3 up top to start. He's got Robin and Seedorf out wide. Tudor, as previously mentioned, in the holding midfield role. A manager and a team that I haven't had a lot of success with over the years, or against, I should say. So you were suggesting that that my side could be on the march. I think this is potentially where my march ends.
No, I didn't think so, mate. I would say to Maka that about, like, when you're on that sort of run, you need to maybe chuck in a kind of mental formation, like a one at the back or something. I think he's been quite consistent with his flat 4 across the middle and stuff, and I think he just needs. I know he's went 3 up top in that, but against your side, especially who's came into a bit of form, I don't know if this is going to be the week it turns it round, sadly, or is it now Rocks? Who
I'm not sure what the dynamic is. I think Rocks will be involved, and we'll be doing the subs tonight. I'm not sure if he's fully taking over or not. I'll wait to see what happens. We mentioned it at the start, but obviously Exiles start the night in 5th, Fulchester in 7th. So just about everybody is watching this game with intrigue.
But again, I was saying to Mark as well, but I think his main hope was to get Crespo going. He needed to bring in better defenders, and he's addressed that with Materazzi. I know he's got rid of Constantino, who was also a bit of a goal threat, but I think was it Gerard and Materazzi or something like that. But he definitely needed a defender, because that young boy was playing, or whoever it was, the fucking, was it Brazilian or whatever, 12 tackling, he definitely wasn't the answer. So he's certainly made improvements there, but I can't see past that an Excel's win here. Like, looking at that squad, it's probably one of my favourite squads. I think you've got immense fucking depth there, quality, loads of players I like, and I just think if you settled on a formation, and I can see you making the playoffs 100%, mate. That formation especially will definitely work.
So this is the team. 1 enforced change. Woodgate picked up a red card last time out. So Ferdinand, who came on, starts in his place. Matreski gets a place on the bench. Other than that, it's the same team. Nedved replaces Aymar on the bench for this game as well. And I'm just seeing in the chat, Duggan saying a bit of mad breaking news from Stackington HQ. So obviously I can't see that while streaming live. That might give you an indication, but confirmation that Swan is taking charge of Stackington until the end of the season. So interesting to see what happens there. And Tato confirming Horse has resigned with immediate effect and placed his assistant Swan in charge until the end of the season. Where is Cambiasso and Danny Mills? Cambiasso was almost an exile at one point earlier this season. Paul has faith in my side. He's going 3-2 exiles. I'm not so sure, I'll be honest. But before I hit go, any predictions from yourself?
I'm going, as I say, home win, maybe be a couple of goals, Fyfie.
Okay, let's find out as we kick off the second game of the night. This 3 up top does worry me. There's a lot of class, and they've had a lot of attempts, but Seedorf gets an early injury 18 minutes into the game. No obvious right winger on the bench, so already a bit of a chance for Rocks to show his tactical genius.
I'm just having a look at his bench there. Is John Terry, Chiesa, Gattuso. It's got to be Gerard to the right and bring on Gattuso, I think. That's what I'd be looking at, probably. I'd also probably be moving, if Rocks is at the wheel, I'd probably be moving Casas back at the AMC and going with the 2 up and 1 behind, but whether he's going to do that, I don't know. But I think 3 up top you can be effective during a game, but starting with it's not really no ideal in my opinion.
No, definitely. It seemed to me the early minutes, Fulchester put on a bit of pressure. I often find in my games, if Exiles don't score early, it could be a very long night. So I'm concerned. It did look like we just started to play a little bit back into it. I know we're still, I think we're in 18 minutes into the game, so a long way to go. But yeah, it's not the best start from my side at all.
I find, see, like early in a game, if it's all your own team and you fail to score, I think 9 times out of 10, always concede a fucking goal. If you've had a wee bit of sustained pressure early on, always seem to concede. Oh, yes, he's making moves.
Move Gerrard to the right. Gattuso on.
This changes
where this is the problem when you haven't been in charge the whole season. I'm from memory, you're not really supposed to make tactical changes of stuff during injuries, but as it's my game, I'll allow it. Back to the MRC, move Materazzi to left.
You could do that at half time, eh? Normally,
centralise Donny and swap with Robin, like that. Is that what we're saying? Oh, and a little arrow on Robin. See that one there as well. Rox, if you could just confirm that's what you want to do.
You probably should have said they had to wait till half time to do that, to be honest, Fyfie.
No, well, as it's against
I know,
me,
but still, you felt kind of obliged to do it. You could have waited till half time and done it, huh?
He's saying yes, so we will confirm that and carry on. At least I've got an excuse now if we do lose. There is the first goal. It's been disallowed by Wayne Oldham. And nice to see some things never change. Wayne Oldham getting involved.
See, just with that reformation tweak, I could genuinely see Fulchester getting something now, because that's what I think he was crying out for, something like that, just a change up.
Approaching half time, and another injury, Materazzi this time. Is Rox now at Fulchester? Yes, he's picking up a different paycheck now, Jens. That was decided about half an hour before we started. Anarchy, indeed. We need to get someone who knows what the rules are in charge to keep an eye on things. You would imagine, does Gerrard drop back, or does John Terry play there as he was playing a centre-back there anyway? There's our answer.
I probably would have done what you said, but again, I would be dropping money. I wouldn't be sticking with 3 up top. But it's Rock, so you can never really predict what he's going to do, apart from going one at the back. But he's a bit madcap. I think now you'd be happy with a point in your Fyfie. I know I would be anyway. Just with these changes,
well, we make it to half-time, and the only thing that's really happened, Tristan had a goal disallowed, 2 injuries for Fulchester. It did feel like they were the better side. They've created more chances, although slightly wasteful in front of goal, just 1 of 5 on target. My team have been offside plenty. Both sides showing excellent passing. Fulchester slightly better, though. Tackles, though, Rox might be a little bit wary of the fact that they're not even winning 50% of their tackles, although they are dominant in the air. As I've got the live feed, I'll let Rox look first. Mixed ratings, Costanzo, Tudor, the standout players so far with 8s. And he's gone quickly by saying swap Crespo and Ronaldo, done. Now is my chance to react to everything that has gone so far. Guigu there on a 9. Oh, some people like to look at ratings even if it's not their own players. I better do it that way. Guigu on a 9, controlling things in holding midfield, but nothing much to write home about. Not a lot of control of the ball, that's for sure. But I'm going to let it run to 60 from there and see what happens.
Real yellow a wee worry for you, Fyfie, not?
It doesn't tend to be something I worry too much about. 60. Oh, actually got one on 60, and it's the second game. Pleased with that. We haven't been very good here. I'm not quite sure what to do to change it. I'll go wherever anyone lets me play, 1 at the back, says
Nedved for Kelly, surely?
It is the one I was looking at. It was either Killy or Raquelme, but as he's on the yellow, I don't think Larsson's coming on. Let's just go with Nedved and go with that.
Larson's another one I fucking hate.
Is that just on the game or in real life?
I bet both now. He was a magnificent player in real life. I'm not a big fan of Celtic, but on the game, I've never liked him, to be honest.
You've been to Steve Wright's Stop at 60 score. I used to be quite good at it. I used to get a fairly high percentage back in the day when this was my little baby. I'm glad to see that I at least got one tonight that landed on 60. Gerard and Gattuso, wee arrows. He's doing it. He's even typing it in Scottish for me. Chuck Robin to AMC with a wee arrow. Done. So I believe, if you concur, that is what he's asked for.
Yep, exactly.
50% so far.
He can't really do any in subwise, so that's probably about all he can do, to be honest.
Dimble noticing my T-shirt. Favorite meal at Hooters. I had the big Hootie burger on the one time I went there a couple of weeks ago, and it was very, very nice. I was actually not expecting the food to be as nice as it was, because it's the sort of place you obviously go for the experience, but the food was really good. Let's play on and see what happens. I am fearing the worst now. It still seems like Fulchester are having the better, although we're having little moments. Another offside as we get to 73 minutes. And there's a chance for Duca! And he's got the goal. And there's the equaliser straight away from Case. That's his first goal for Fulchester. And they're about to get free. I can see it coming. It has to be the winning goal for Veron, surely. No, Case again.
I think I'll draw his face here.
4 minutes of added on time. They're about to win it. For Duca!
Wow.
Oh, my God!
Wow, what a
Surely
game.
this time, please, no! Yes! Fuck
well
that.
done, man.
Oh, my God. Experience equals tits, quite right. And I have to say, the woman that served us is one of the fittest women I've ever seen in real life. It was a problem. It was a real problem. Top service indeed. I can't believe we've got away with that. I really can't believe we've got away with that. Fulchester, I think Macca and Rocks can count themselves very, very unfortunate. Played a real part in a quality game. See some great game comments here. Crazy ending. We've got best 15 minutes so far this season. Thank you, Rocks, who says great game 5. Yeah, you too, mate. Real hard fought game that. And yes, you did. Paul did call it at the start, if you remember. Duggan asking how many is that for Fulchester. I will check that just at the end. Let's bring up the Fulchester stats first. Look at that case. That's 10 rating. If I remember rightly, did he not find his Super League fame at Haggis when it was you and Rocks as a combo? So quite fitting that he steps up today.
He did. It was a Rock signing. He brought him in mid-season for us in the season that won the title. I think it was him and I think it was, who was it? Cavalli, I can't remember. There was a DML, him and that was Rox's contribution. And I like him. First season, maybe not so much, but I know if Rox is there, he'll play him. I know he will. But now that's a good win for you, Fyfie. Before the game, I fancied you, but with these changes, I had a wee bit less confidence. But now, again, I've said that you're in good form, and I definitely fancy you for the top 6, mate.
A quick look at the Exiles. Veron going up to a 9 rating. Nobody other than the substituted. Oh, no, I'll tell a lie. Raquelme didn't improve his rating. That AM position. Considering everyone points out how much quality I have, it really is a problem that I've got no one consistently performing there. Something I really do need to look at why. I do want to shout out Richard Wright. He's not putting up any trees, and he started really slowly. Him and Frey at the beginning of the season were just conceding for fun. But his last few games, look at that, 9-8, 8-7-9, and another 8 tonight. He is a big reason as to why our form has improved. But obviously, commiseration for Fulchester, because they probably deserved something out of that. But I hope that was early enough for you, Rocks. I'll say never say die, Fyfie. You could make you champions. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All sorts of accusations will be starting if I win it now, won't it? Let's be honest. Macca would have won that. Absolutely. B-Tech lost 8 in a row back in season 4. I think that's the record. And Rock saying you are now my nemesis to Asman. So we are going to Santos versus Byrne. Ian, I believe Ian is actually up in Scotland. I think his message said he's up in the Highlands somewhere for a few days. So he's gone unchanged from the last game. It goes without saying, obviously, that whatever Northern Byrne team is out is a quality side. What I do like that he's put together, and it's not always the case, he's normally one for having the strongest possible first 11, and then it maybe weakens a little bit, but I quite like the fact he's got Montella, and obviously Montella's the main guy, but Palermo is a very good option to have in his backup, in my opinion.
He does. He always manages to get good squads in, doesn't he? No different this season. Quality 1 to 11. I think he's maybe faltered a wee bit like ourselves of late, so I think injuries and suspensions will come into it more. But as you're saying, he has with his 1 to 11, he has got decent backup, so he may be in a wee bit a better position than us. But if when you've got Montella up front scoring goals, it's half the battle, isn't it? But I'm hoping for a Los Santos win tonight. Needless to say.
Absolutely. This is a team that, as I say, Hodgie sent in, but Jamie did say he's on subs. And another side going one at the back.
It's again, when you're struggling, this is the type of thing today. I've said it, and Jamie obviously has got plenty of experience in the Super League. It's good to see him back involved on his own right as well. Hopefully see him on comms with as well, Fyfie, actually, because he's
he was one of 4 people actually. When I said I was putting something on, he was one of 4 people to reach out and say he'd be happy to jump on tonight.
That's good, mate. I'll be good to see him on in the coming weeks. But
it really would feel like a nostalgia trip if me and Jamie are on together.
Definitely, that's when I first got involved in the league. It was him and Boise. It was Jamie was like the constant co-coms, and it was fucking superb. So I started watching, listening to them. It was fantastic. He's brilliant. But no, I think he's not got a bad side to take over it. I thought they've underperformed a lot this season. Los Santos, Shevchenko's one who fucking I've failed to really get a lot of numbers out. 9 goals was his record for us. So I don't know if he's the answer as like a lone striker. Bergkamp and that are capable. So I think. If there's anybody more capable of turning it around, it's definitely Jamie, and I think his formation gives him as good a chance as any.
Definitely. Paul, I like how early Paul's getting his predictions in. He's gone 2-1 to Byrne. Yes, no ghost game. We're doing well so far, 3 for 3. Prediction from you, sir?
I'm going to say, hopefully, a Los Santos 2-1 win.
You're certainly good at more things than just co-coms, Jamie, that's for sure. You're back in Santos at home to get the 2-1 win. Let's see if you are right. They did look like they have started quite well, but now Totti is seeing plenty of the ball. One going over the bar. Bergkamp get involved. Shevchenko as well. Buffon is having to make a save or two. Lizarazu out wide, picking up the ball. Plenty of action for the home side. Rivaldo with the latest opportunity, approaching halftime. And Santos, definitely good value for at least the draw at the break, Ian.
The Byrne seemed strangely quiet, and they were strangely quiet. It was all Los Santos there, but I think the fear's always if you didn't capitalise on all that, you know what I mean? Because Byrne are always fucking likely to nip in with a goal, but I think Jamie can only be fucking delighted with that, and be surprised if he makes any changes now anyway. I think he'll be waiting, and I doubt Ian would make changes anyway. So they've got right in the game here.
Well, Ian did send a message as part of his submission, so I will just bring that up on my phone so I can make sure I action appropriately. In the meantime, I've got the Los Santos stats on the screen. Only Lizarazu rating higher than a 7, but only 2 players there also rating on a 6. Anything catching your eye, Ian?
Not particularly, mate. The 6 is Rivaldo. I don't rate at all. Powie I like. Lizarazu an 8. Keeper again, 7. Barthez never really going to let you down, but I'd just be rolling. As I say, he's in the game, had the better of the first half, so can only hope that he can maybe capitalise and put one of the the chances away in the second half, preferably early.
Well, he is making changes and he's going for it. I presume you want it like that, and it's if I just flash that up on the screen. So it's Rivaldo off. Where's Rivaldo? There he is. Vasilyuk on, and 2 up top.
Bold, I like that. I prefer 2 up top and 1 behind, so I do like it. I don't know if I'd be making changes even if it was that tight, but no, it's bold. I certainly like it, and I like the 2 and 1 behind. So it's brave.
And one of my all-time favourite characters in the Super League, Maka, jumping in to say, Rox is sacked from Fulchester, fuck off the lot of you. Cat's out the bag, the save corrupt, happy Anelka, shared save, then it goes to shit, blah, blah, blah. Nice to have you with us, Maka. That looks like that's it. So thank you, Jamie. Ian's message, just to clarify, that he sent during submission. Heading up to the Highlands for a few days, so signal will be dodgy. If I'm not in the chat, can someone try and do an Edwards? Whether that's a streamer or even Tato, if he's allowed, please. Well, an Edwards would be as is, particularly as it's 0-0, so I'm loath to change anything. We'll review the situation at 16. If Tato's about and wants to intervene, then by all means on this occasion. But let's resume the action. Do you think Santos can continue to pile the pressure on?
I hope so, mate. I really hope so. It'd be handy for us. It would alleviate a wee bit pressure. But it's again, Burn are always likely to fucking grab a goal, aren't they?
They certainly are. And Lopez on the hour puts one over the bar. We go to the home side again. Again, impressive. Burn had 1 or 2 chances in that sort of 15-minute period, but Santos are holding their own.
They are. You just fear that they've no capitalised, as I say. I mean, Burn, they've done nothing, but they're famous for just grabbing a goal and snatching it, aren't they? But I don't know if I'd be making any more positional changes of that. I think I'd probably just roll now. I think there's much on the bench you can do, Cashman and Freddie, and that. I think I'd just be rolling, but he really needs to be taking one of the chances.
Lizarazu rating up to a 9, really impressing out on that left-hand side.
Yeah, I mean, he's old, but he's one of the best in the game, isn't he? If you're going to play that DML, which I didn't do now, but nah, he's fucking proper class, isn't he?
He really is a good player. And again, considering how unfortunate at times and poor at other times Los Santos have been this season, having a player on a 742 rating. I mean, he's had 5 goal contributions as well. That's not bad for essentially a left back or left wing back, is it?
No, he's class, man. I think his age can put some people off, but I think if he's got the quality of Lizarazu, you're just going to play him till he drops DD, like sort of like Maldini. Just fucking play them, and you know you're going to get 7 odd ratings. You know what I mean? Agat on the other side, I love it. I love Agat as well. He's another one I really like.
While we just wait for any confirmation from Jamie, a quick look at Burn. No one rating poorly, although a couple of 6s, particularly the likes of Totti and Keane, where you might not expect them. Needs his big players to maybe turn up in this last half an hour. Quick look at the fitness. I might be considering Duff at 79, but again, I'm loath to change it unless, of course, he did mention if Tato wants to, he's more than welcome to, but he thinks conditions are myth. Would you be changing anything in this situation?
I think I probably would. I think I'd maybe be looking at maybe a Lundberg for Lopez. I think maybe moving to 2 up top, bring Palermo on. Keane was always be a worry on a yellow card there. I mean, he's a fucking walking red card, isn't he? So probably something like that. I don't know. I don't know what he would. I know Ian's not one big for fucking tactical changes, but Lundberg for Lopez or Ortega, something like that. Be looking at, but I can't see anything happening here though.
Certainly interesting insight from Paul there, what he would do. I haven't seen anything yet from Jamie on the 60-minute mark. Possibly is in the YouTube chat, just waiting to tick through to us. But I'm going to leave Burn as is. I don't want to mess with what doesn't need messing. And I'll give Jamie sort of 30 more seconds. If they do go unchanged as well, how do you see this game finishing?
It's looking like a draw, and I think Los Santos need to be getting a goal a bit now. I mean, they've had a bit of wing back arrows extended to
Yeah,
AM.
just seen that tick through as well. Thank you very much.
That's
just
fair.
confirmation
That's
there.
fair. I think it's going to play it to a draw again. I hope Los Santos can get a goal, but I can see it being a draw. It'd be extremely unfortunate if Los Santos were to lose, because they've been pretty good.
They certainly have. I mean, not much has changed really since halftime, if anything at all. So we've done the wing back arrows. I haven't seen anything else from Jamie. So let's continue on and see what happens. Another chance. I think it was Walker this time. And there was just a little bit of burn pressure, as you say. You fear the worst when there's just consistent orange and yellow. But here they come again, and it's a side netting for Santos. Again, getting involved. 3 minutes being added on. We're into those 3 minutes now. There's the final whistle. And I know you wanted Los Santos to win, but that's not a bad point for them to take.
It's no, considering the form they've been on, but I think it's again an away point for Burn isn't the end of the world. And when you look at that, I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. 2 shots on target. They've been very poor, Burn, and they've came away with a point still. So I don't think you can be too displeased with it. Los Santos, Jamie will be. There's definitely shoots optimism there. I think he's outplayed Burn, sort of stopped the losing fucking run. So I think both managers will be relatively happy. Maybe more so Burn.
Unsurprisingly, Liz Rizou picking up man of the match. Jamie saying disappointed there, but take a point. Absolutely. I think in the situation, I know me and Jamie have had plenty of experience being managers of teams at the bottom of the league. Just picking up points and performances, something to build on, is huge. You see Shevchenko there on an 8. He got a strike partner at halftime, and it just didn't quite happen for Roman on this occasion. Quick look over at Burn. Not an awful performance, but maybe just too many average performances by their standards is what's cost them. But yeah, Santos very impressive this evening in picking up a 0-0 against second place Northern Burn. Let's move on, and we go to Vikings versus Stackington. Stackington, who are under new management until the end of the season, as we've heard earlier in the show. The side submitted was unchanged. So this is the team we go with. There is, for me, obviously Mendieta is the standout player in the 11, but for me, the 2 players I really like are Dyer and Ambrosini in this team.
Definitely for me as well, Mendieta, Dyer. That aside, Amoruso I quite like in a 2, definitely. I know he was playing him in a 1 for a lot of the season, for a large chunk of the season, but he's definitely better than a 2 on the left-hand side. Hippie and Lusenhoff, no really for me. There's a couple of good players in it, but definitely some weaker players, so I think their league position is just about right for the squad that they've got, to be honest.
Gio would be a starter for me, no questions asked.
Definitely. Again, you've got Ambrosini's no one I'm a huge fan of, but Van Bronckhorst would be starting all day long. Volodenkov's versatile, but Gio would 100% be in there.
Let's have a look then at the Vikings team submitted. A tactical tweak from the last match. They had a 2 up top. This time Brozek drops down. From memory, that is the only change to the team, which sees Henry maintain his place on the bench.
It's Jens Disney rate his squad. It's poor, etc. But I think he's made a couple of signings. I think Emerson coming in changed the look of them. I mean, Bauma and Cafu are 2 of the best on the game. So I don't know how you kind of say they're world class. Jeremy's world class. Kaladze maybe a wee bit weaker.
I think he's proven in the Super League though he's more than capable. Kaladze
who is? No, he's an animal. I mean, he's maybe just no your like as good as Jeremy's, but no, he's certainly a tackler, solid DM. Anelka, I mean, I think that's a class side personally. Maybe he's Cordoba I like as well. Gamara maybe would be the weaker one, and he's got Kiots and goal. I think it's a very good side. The start to the season was horrific though. He didn't score in fucking how many games, so I think that's hamstrung them definitely. But it's a quality side, and maybe another one for season 2 there. But it's certainly fucking fully quality.
Score prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1 Vikings.
3-1 to Vikings. Let's kick this one off. And there is the 1 for Stackington. Straight away, 2 minutes. Amoroso with the goal. And they go very close to a second. Do the away side. Lucenov goes in the book. A lot. And there is Mendieta. We mentioned him in the intro. They have started, and they're looking for a third. They are piling on the pressure on the Vikings.
Swan with an instant impact there.
There was a 2-1 prediction from Paul. I'm afraid you got this one wrong. Definitely. Half time, it's 2-0. It perhaps could have been more. I mean, both sides, 100% on target record, but just six attempts from the away side to just 2 for Vikings.
It's a 2-0 gubbin, innit? It was all Stackington. I got that one slightly wrong. I think I'd be surprised if Vikings can come back in it again. Maybe if he's certainly got the players, he's got decent options, maybe Henry on, and I think if he doesn't make wholesale changes, then the game will just peter out because Stackington have been extremely strong. I'd be shocked if Swan makes any changes here.
Well, we saw the message at the start. Swan said he wasn't making any changes unless they were more than a goal down at half-time. They're much better than that. They're a goal up. So let's just look at the Viking stats. Shiotis, 5, not what Jens wants to see. Lots of 6s throughout. And just the one player that is that man you spoke about, Jens Jeremy's rating an 8. Jens saying just play to 90, not bothered. Which, not really what the fans want to hear. I mean, you could see their fans not happy with that. But if that's what the manager wants, that's what the manager gets. Just a quick look for anyone keeping tabs on the Stackington performance. Let's go to 60. We'll see if he changes his mind at that point as well, of course. It looks like they're having a bit of ball and moving forward with it, creating chances. There's one back. And it is Anelka as we get it on 60. I think that's 3 out of 4.
He needs to do something. He needs to do something now. He needs to do something.
So, yes, Anelka pulling one back. Swan already saying no changes at 60 for me. Me and Jens ready for bed. If Jens can just confirm together. Indeed, many people would love to go to bed with Jens. I am almost certain of it. Jens, if you could just confirm you're still not bothered and you would like to continue. Oh, look, it has changed. So we are going Keane for Henri. There's Keane. And 2 up top. I'm guessing Henri is the up top because Brozek was up top last game. If you can just confirm that for me, Jens. And Nelka inspired comeback on the cards. If you just confirm I got that the right way around, if not, I'll obviously swap Brozek and Henri back around. What do you make to that change either way?
It was good. He was right in the game. I mean, I could see how he was maybe a bit disheartened at half time. They got absolutely hammered, but that goal back, he's right in it. And again,
and there's 2-2. Oh, it's been disallowed.
Oh. No, 2 up top.
And Stackington may have just won it. Amoroso makes it 3. Vikings trying to come forward. Can they get another goal to make it interesting for the last 5? Oh, there's a chance. Corner kick. Oh. And Vikings did everything but score in that last 10 minutes.
The disallowed goal killed it, didn't it?
Battle of the Beauties, this. Got to be the top 2 Super League hotties facing off tonight. It's very, very difficult to disagree with you there, Martin. But it is the away side that come away with a 3-1 win. It was an entertaining game. Vikings definitely more in it in the second half, but Stackington do enough.
I think the disallowed goal was the key moment. I think Vikings were looking good, got to go back, and I could have seen them getting something, but I think that disallowed goal just killed any momentum they had, and a deserved win for Swanee there. Well done, mate.
And Duggan pointed out Stackington charging late, pressure on Dudley now. Quite right. Quick look at the player ratings starting with Vikings. Look at Cafu there on a 9. Jeremy's went up to a 9 as well, but it was just the goalkeeper that let them down tonight.
It was, again, it's one of the most horrible things to see in a keeper. Your team can do pretty well. I mean, aside for the keeper, he's done pretty well. And as I say, he's come back into it, and I think Kyotos has just had a fucking howler. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's so fucking frustrating. Like keeper woes.
Swan saying, make sure Horse gets no credit for this at all me. Good night, lads. Unlucky Jens. And Alf suggesting a draw seemed fairer. Looking over at Stackton, Volodenkov gets man of the match for his 10 out of 10 rating. Mendieta showing off as well. Just the one player, Kutusov, rating below a 7 in what was as close to a perfect away performance as you're likely to see.
I was just going to say that it's just about fucking perfect, isn't it? Volodenkov at left wing back instead of Gio, proving to us what we know. But nah, fucking perfect performance. Swanee looks like he's coming in at a good time. A good win.
Now, the game that I suggested could be absolutely anything. This is one I've been looking forward to tonight. We've got Sancte at home to Badgers. And if I remember rightly, I think Sancte were already loaded in, so I didn't have to do anything. From their last match, I can see Finnan was on the right. It's a Sokoviak this time. I think everything else is the same. They've got a very, very good squad, and it wouldn't surprise anyone. I know they're position 10th, but as we spoke about the tightness, we've just seen Stackington win. If Sancte can win as well, that will really pile the pressure on the likes of Exiles and Dudley Hill, won't it?
Well, for that sixth position, the team's certainly good enough, but I think another horrific start to the season, it fucking impedes you so much that I know he's went on good runs previously. I mean, been on fucking mad, silly winning runs, so he's capable of doing it again. Again, it's a good side, and he's brought his main man Constantino back in, so it wouldn't surprise me them going on a winning run of a few matches, But I think Badgers, I can see a draw in this game, but no, Sancte class side as he's had for a few seasons.
Looking at Badgers, it's a both teams playing the identical formation. Agahawa has come in for the injured Salihamidzic. Other than that, I believe they're unchanged from their last game. Rayed gets a place on the bench.
It's the formation's solid. It's proven to work. I think he's got Kluivert scoring, which he wasn't doing, and I think he went through a bit of a lull. He wasn't picking up points, but I think he's back on a bit of form that he was on earlier in the season, and he's again, it's another good side and another one who you can see quite easily going on a fucking winning run. I mean, he's got Giggs, who's a fucking one of my favourites on the game. Front two class, Nikiforenko in behind. I mean, it's one of the better sides, I would say, and I think I can see Badgers taking this because again, themselves are in good form. So I think a Sancte win really would, as you say, tighten things up for that 6, but I can't see past the Badgers win here.
Well, Paul's gone 3-2 Sancte. You're saying Badgers win. Do you want to put a score on it, or are you just going to leave it as Badgers win?
I'll say 2-1.
2-1 is the prediction from Cocoms. Well, again, there's the one, or it was the one, Constantinu offside, Inzaghi getting involved as well. But there's Agahawa, masterstroke from the manager, back in the 11, back in the goals. Sancte trying to equalise, but here come Badgers again. Giggs getting involved, Kluivert now. Gatos, Inzaghi, Campbell coming forward, and Inzaghi again with an opportunity. But there's 2, and it is Giggs on 25 minutes. In front of his previous boss. Kluivert with a great opportunity to make it 3, doesn't take it. Okoronkwo puts one over the bar. Sancte definitely look like they've been in it, just not quite clinical enough in front of goal. But there's Ronaldinho to pull one back on 39. Are they going to get an equaliser before half-time? They're trying everything they can. But there is the half-time whistle. End-to-end pulsating stuff there.
It was a good game. I just had the feel that Badgers were just in that wee bit more likely to score. Came just after the first and the second, I thought they were maybe just going to totally shut them out. But that goal before half time is a big goal. So again, still right in it. And with the stats, Sancte have had the better it. So I think I would expect changes maybe if we dug in, maybe an attacking. Looking at his stats, so it's not been that bad. A couple of guys like Smerton, I'm not a big fan. I don't think Duggan's a fan of him, but
Oh, I'm not sure if your mic's gone again there, Ian, unfortunately. We got as far as Duggan being a fan of Smertin, but then you've disappeared on us.
Cannon a 6.
It seems like it's just trying to catch up. There we go. I think you're with us now, Ian. Although, can you just change it because we're getting feedback from me?
Somebody's tried to phone me. You getting feedback now, are you?
Yeah, I can hear everything I'm saying. Oh, there we go. So, no, it's still coming through. We can still rehear everything.
Somebody's tried to phone me. I don't know what's.
Duggan's gone as is for us. Let's click over to badges.
Will we rejoin? Leaving?
Yeah. If you want to, mate, that's fine. Yeah. While we have a look at what's going on with the badges, a mix of 67s and 8s littered throughout the squad. And as is from Tato as well. Sorry, and the feedback's still coming through at the minute.
We might jump off and jump back on. Somebody tried to phone me, mate. So
yeah, mate, that's fine. I'll go to 60 while you reconnect.
Sorry, mate.
Let's continue with this game. Is the second half going to be as exciting? Sancte coming forward, looking for that equaliser. There was another opportunity, and there it is from Ronaldinho. Badgers under all sorts of pressure. I didn't get the 60 on this one. Sorry, guys. Can't be helped. We start with the home team. They have leveled things up. Ronaldinho pulling the strings in that AM role. That same role that I said I'm struggling with. Duggan showing what can happen when you have the real GOAT in that position. Couple of players, though, Constantinu, Hagen, both in the mid-70s in terms of condition. Might be something I'm looking at. Ronaldinho, Ian mentioned about yellow cards earlier. Maybe that comes into the thinking, but Duggan is going as is. Let's move over to Badgers, who I remember from previous. Don't care about conditions, so I'll just leave this up on the screen for them. Desai, the only player in the book. Again, it's a mixed bag. Agahawa there on a 9. Okoronkwo and Nikiforenko on a 6. There's a difference. Ronaldinho pulling strings in that AM role. Nikiforenko certainly not. Zanoni, Rossini, other players also on a 6 as well. Let's just see if Ian has fixed the connection. Ian, can you hear us okay?
I can, mate. I would just thought I'd take it back to old dial-up broadband just to make it right nostalgic. Wouldn't it be a
well, you say that just as Martin posts, Fyfie hosting, promise of Hopkins on co-coms, Ian having technical challenges. What year is this? We have
somebody tried to phone. Somebody tried to phone me, and then since then it's obviously a bit fucked up, so God knows.
That's right, no worries. So Zanoni for Gianna Cheddar, and Elber for Raya to go through up top, and then I realise Elber for Nikiforenko and go 3 up top. Do you want that in any particular order, Tato, or are you happy as it appears on the screen? Badgers going for it, having been under the cosh somewhat. They are trying everything they can that if they get the ball forward, they are going for goals.
What's the score for Fyfie? I dropped off there, mate. What is it? Still 2-1?
2-2.
2-2, all right. Yeah. I think, has Duggan made any changes?
No, he's gone as is.
As is, right. 3 up top, maybe a bit risky, but he's obviously feels he's got to go for it.
I don't win away, so nothing rests on this.
I'll set up nicely. It'd be a huge win for Sancte. It really would.
Certainly would. 71 now on the clock. Badgers starting to build a bit of momentum again. They want a penalty not given. Second or third penalty not given tonight. Slowing it down. This is exciting. Are we going to get a winner is the question. Here's Inzaghi. Constantinu. Okoronkwo with the tackle. Okoronkwo gets booked. Free kick. Ronaldinho. It looked harsh, says the comms. And there's Ronaldinho with a hat-trick from the free kick. His 10th of the season. And has he won it for Sancte? And really piled the pressure on those sides in the top 6. And there they come again. Are they going to get a 4th? It's Ronaldinho. On a one-man mission tonight. Deflects off the wall. Toldo picks it up. Hagen. And there's the full-time whistle from 2-0 down to 3-2 up. Incredible scenes for the home side. Hopkins is right. Wow, indeed. Only one Dino. He is my GOAT for a reason. Huge result for the home side. And, probably deserved anyway. But when you consider that they were 2 down, shows a lot about the character in the side, Ian.
It does. That's a fully deserved win, that. I think getting the goal before half-time really kept them alive. And I think it's just opened things up nicely, innit? Badgers maybe a wee bit concerned, but they're solid at home, maybe not so much on away on the road as Tato's say, but no, it's a massive result for Sanctuary, that.
There are
Solid
very few sides who are very good away from home this season, to be fair.
True, very true, mate. I think it's just about grinding, picking up points in it, but some are better than others, obviously. But I think if you can get in it away from home, you're doing well. But that's a big statement victory for Sanctuary, that.
And ominous for the rest of the league that Ronaldinho is hitting form.
Definitely, mate. Good ratings. Can pushing his rating up for a 6, I believe, at half time, I think it was. So just a pleasing performance all round there, and Ronaldinho hat tricks. It's dreamland, isn't it? Really good. Constantino coming and getting a 7. Just a good performance and a vital 3 points. Like, massive one.
Absolutely. And a quick look at the away side. Again, it's not awful, but I think I said it about Byrne in the previous game, earlier game. Just too many players having average performances.
Too many 6s, mate. Keeper 6. Okoronkwo, your centre half on a 6. I mean, Agahiw and Giggs propping it up, but that aside, just pretty ordinary, really. And looking at, I think Sanctuary have deserved it fully, to be honest. When I'm looking at the ratings anyway, fully deserved.
We have 2 games left, you and Dudley Hill, but let's see if we can do Coast and Stanley first. From a Dimble perspective, if I remember rightly, it's unchanged from the last game. Again, it's a very, very good side, and that midfield three among some of my favourites on the game. Zayleus, arguably, he's definitely my top 3 CDMs on the game. It's an incredible centre-back pairing, so you can understand why they are as good as they are.
The defensive side of the pitch is unbelievably good. I mean, Kuehl, Ferguson and Boyer, what a midfield 3. His front 2, you'd say, are maybe a wee bit weaker, arguably, but then you've got Carlos Jacques in the form he's in, as banging in the goals. So I mean, when I say weaker, I maybe mean more unfashionable strikers. But with Jacques in the form he's in, I mean, it's definitely one of the better sides in the league. And the form he's in is definitely troubling for the top 2.
Definitely, and it's a tactical change for Red Rose this time out. They've gone back with João Pinto partnering Sigalko. Costa and Senak, Davidson centre mid on his own, Scally holding the fort with Neville and Carlos each side, Ekyog and Vashuk in front of Westerveld.
I mean, Sigalko, I think Red Rose have seemed to be off inconsistent. It's like they'd get one no bad result, I think maybe turned a corner and then they'd go back to losing a game. I think it's just been too inconsistent for them for the majority of the season. João Pinto wouldn't be anywhere near things for me.
He is getting assists though.
Yeah, I just probably wouldn't play him for him to get the assist. But there's a few players I love. I mean, Sigalko, is he as effective in a 2? I don't know. Maido, I know, was one you fucking love. Davids, I mean, it's a reasonable side. Vashchuk, I don't know if he's fucking cut out to be a Super League starting centre half. That's Westerveld I love. But it's an okay side. I think East Coast will be far too strong for him here, though. But I mean, there's the makings area, a pretty good side if we can maybe strengthen a couple of areas. But I can see a convincing East Coast win. Sorry.
Convincing? How convincing are you going? Do you want to put a score on it?
I'll say 3-0.
3-0. Paul going 2-1 in his prediction. Let's kick this one off and see early attempt there from Coast. Not wasting any time getting into their stride here. Looks to be a wet pitch, so the ball is going to be skimming all over the place. Coast look like they have dominated the opening 10 minutes. An overhead kick attempted there, I believe, by Barry Ferguson. All Coast in the first 20 minutes. And there is Jacques with his 11th for the season. Quite rightly pointed out in comms last night, I remember, and by you in the preview there, as to his form. He is doing absolute bits. What? How's Rex ended up at Vikings having a... I have no idea what's going on anymore. Apparently Rox may have moved teams again. We're coming up to half-time. There is that looked very Coast dominated, and yes, the stats do suggest the home side have been running riot.
It was pretty as one-sided a game as you'll see. I think Stanley really didn't look like scoring at all. I think it's going to be a case of how many, to be honest with you. I don't know if there's much that Stanley can do, to be honest with you, and posted in the form they're in.
Well, unsurprisingly, a look at Coast, and it is strong ratings. You mentioned the strikers might be a little bit weaker. Shearer there on a 6. Perhaps surprising to see Bowyer on a 6 as well. But on the other side, Harry Kewell doing bits. Was Jacques a Scott invention? I think he was, actually, yes. If I remember rightly, Scott Sadler brought him into the league, yes. Dimble, unsurprisingly, going as is. So a look over at Stanley. And what can you do to stem this tide? I mean, no one is playing particularly badly. It's just they are being completely outclassed.
I think I'd probably try and move to Shigalko up front on his own. As you say, it's no horrific. Westerveld hudding the things together. Gary Neville disappointing on a 6. But I think, I don't know what he's got on the bench. Has he got much on the bench? Deisler right hand side. See, maybe look at Deisler for Neville possibly, and again maybe move to the one up front. Apart from that, I think you're kind of fighting a losing battle. See, in my opinion, two up front, it's vital that you get your AMC scoring goals if your front two are having an off day, and he's got that. So when that's happening, it's quite hard to stop.
Pinto there almost equalising just as we break for the second half tactical break. Coast still leading 1-0. But Red Rose have been better since that slight tactical tweak at halftime.
They have, mate. They've no got the goal though, and it's Coast seem to be towards the end of games. They seem to come on it a bit more. So I can only see an East Coast win here still, mate. Sadly for Stanley.
Well, that's why you're here, is to tell us what you think and why you think it. So I don't think anyone will be too surprised in that opinion. While we would just wait for Dimble to confirm, I imagine he's going to go as is. A little look here at Red Rose. Westerveld, you mentioned, rolling back the years, so to speak, rating up to a 9. Performance has definitely improved, ratings have improved, but still a few 6s dotted around.
There is. See here, now I would probably chuck Ehog at the back on his own, get Deisler on, chuck Deisler into AMC right or something like that, because there is, as dominant of course they've been, it's still only a goal in it. I mean, just go for it. You've not got nothing to lose here, because the game's just going to peter out otherwise, I think.
Well, Dimble just making the one change. Hussein coming on for the yellow carded Shearer, and that is it. As for Rose, we've got a change for them as well. So if you agree, we're going Pinto to AMC, Costa in the middle, Deisler for CMAC. Where is he? There he is. Simeone for Vashuk. Is there? Ugo 1 at the back. So I presume that you want that straightening up and then possibly like that.
3 AMC arrows, central one. I like it. That's what I was saying. It's about pretty much the best he could do. it's an attacking move, so I like that a lot. And I think that's probably about all he could do personally. So he's giving himself a chance here anyway. Absolutely.
Certainly has. Just wait for confirmation that is as wanted. But I agree. I do believe that looks correct, and it certainly looks that they're giving it a go, if nothing else.
It does, and again, they've not really been in the game, so I think it was just going to peter out. But again, you can't go in much more attacking than that. Shigal got front on his own, so they've given themselves a chance, and that's all you can really do.
Absolutely. He says roll, please. And Alf saying 1 at the back is catching on. Let's get this one to its conclusion and see what happens. Here come Coast, so close there to doubling their lead. Sigalko tries his luck, but it goes wide. 3 minutes added on, and here they come again. So throw in though. Kuehl goes past Neville. Shax saved. He lets it run free, but Carlos is there to pick up the pieces. Now Pinto, Sigalko, but offside, and here come Coast again. He'll gets in the way, and Pinto, Simeone, Costa, Sigalko, clean over the bar. Kuehl. Again, running things is Kuehl. He's had a good season as Kuehl, at least in my opinion. Here he comes again. Comes forward. Looks at Jacques. Stam now on the balls. Elias, and it's with Ferguson. Bowyer puts it over the bar. Great football by the home side. One last chance, maybe. Free kick. Carlos sends it in. Taibbi with it. Goes out for throw-in. There's the final whistle. And Coast run out 1-0 winners.
See, what Ross done there, I think he's a newish manager, assistant manager to the league, but it's unfortunate who he was up against there, because what he done there was, in my opinion, 100% the correct thing to do. That's the type of thing you need to do in games like that. So he deserves massive credit for doing that. And it's just unfortunate he was up against one of the form teams in the league. But no, they came into the game as well. I mean, they had chances. Shigalko misfiring is fucking frustrating. Must be so frustrating for them, what he's done when he was capable. You know what I mean? But that was credit to Ross there. He done exactly what was needed. And I think he's just unlucky that they're up against one of the better teams in the league.
No, absolutely. And given the dropped points, it wasn't a defeat, but the dropped points for Burn earlier, and also the dropped points for Badgers, that's a great result for Coast.
It really is. They're on fantastic form, and as I was saying, that top two a couple of weeks ago, it was looking like it was fucking home and hose, but not so much now. It's a big game for ourselves as well. I think we Burn dropping a point helps us a wee bit, but I think East Coasters catching us as well, so we really could be doing with something here tonight.
Well, let's have a look at your opposition first, and this is how they line up. Familiar looking formation. Tony and Comandini's impressed me this season. I think he's had one of his better years. I like the look of Decor in centre midfield. Contra Day up there with the best wing-back partnerships in the league, potentially. Centre-back partnership looks strong, but not as strong as some others, in my opinion. So there is definitely a something to get at if you can get through that DM line.
Possibly. I think Simic is good enough. I think he's solid enough. If you've got the strong enough defensive midfielders in front, I wouldn't personally have that big an issue there. I mean, you always like a proper like Cannavaro, Samuel type, but I think if you've got strong enough DMs, it's okay. I mean, his other areas are pretty strong as well. I know he loves Dede, Mackay, Tony, and Comandini is a pretty Dudley Hill type attack force, but no, it's a good side, and we've certainly got plenty to worry about. I mean, they're not too bad form themselves, so it's no expecting an easy game anyway.
Not sure if Steve is around. I may have missed it, a captain submission, but let me know before we kick off, and I'll be happy to change it while we move over to your side. And you've made a couple of changes from last time out.
We have, and it was actually me that done it. I'm trying to remember what we've done now.
So you've brought your goalkeeper back in.
We have done that, and we've brought Cannavaro back in. That's what we've done. That was just due to suspensions and injury to Cuenca. It's pretty much our full strength. I think we've been faltering a wee bit. It's been our away from home. We've been a bit disappointing. I mean, we got gubbed at East Coast and then losing to Stackington. I mean, it's been a wee bit concerning, but not quite yet. If we were to lose tonight, I'd probably be a bit more concerned, but I think our home form's been solid, so the team pretty much picks itself when everybody's fit. So, here's hoping.
Any particular number for Carl?
Any, mate, any.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, for the final time tonight, and I appreciate I've kind of slipped instantly back into old ways, so apologies if I've not been as fast as some of the previous incumbents who really did nail getting shows done quite quickly. But I hope you've enjoyed it nonetheless. Our last game of the night. Good luck to yourself, Ian, and good luck to Steve if he's watching or watching back later. Let's see how the final one pans out. 10 minutes gone. It looks like the away side to me have had the better of it early doors. But here come Haggis. Just as I say that, Simic goes off injured. I will prepare Southgate as the obvious sub there. And if Steve is around, he can confirm that. What did you make to the opening? Where are we? 18 minutes.
I think it was definitely more Dudley. We were quite quiet. I didn't remember us having a shot on target, so a wee bit concerning, but hoping that he's not capitalised on that early possession and stuff. We're still in it, but a wee bit worrying maybe. I think the sub doesn't particularly weaken him any. I probably prefer Simic to Southgate, but it's not a horrendous sub to make, so a wee bit worrying for us.
Nice little joke there from Martin saying fast does not equal good. Fyfie, ask any woman. I appreciate it's probably public knowledge and I've just missed it in my not really getting involved in stuff Super League mentality, but I want to congratulate Martin, who's set to get married very soon. Congratulations ahead of time to Martin. Southgate has been confirmed as coming on. Let's resume the action. Haggis come forward themselves and do score through Del Vecchio on 26 minutes. Comodini almost with an instant reply. Van Nistelrooy looking to double it up. A couple of minutes being added on. Paul say, so I replied saying women do not talk to me, and it's a Saeed penalty on 45 to make it 2. Paul saying the missus talks at me. I remember those days. Dudley started strong, but you ended the half the better and go in with a 2-0 lead.
To be fair to Steve, I know he hates fucking when we beat him, and normally it's against a run of play and what have you, but that game, this particular half anyway, I think it was probably certainly against a run of play. I didn't think we had that many shots whatsoever. I think he can be rightly aggrieved with that half. I think we scored against a run of play. His ratings are not too hot, but I felt they were in the game more than the stats show anyway. Definitely.
Yeah. I normally go home first, but as you've got the live feed where Steve's watching on the stream, I brought his up first to give him a chance to react. Southgate's not exactly covered himself in glory since coming on for Simic. Too many sixes when you're playing a team of Haggis quality. Let me flick it over so you can have a look at yours and look at Petkov there, 9 rated first half.
Lovely, delighted. The only worry would be Samuel on a yellow, but I know I asked you the question, but it's not something I would be concerned at, especially at 45. But I'm happy to roll to 60.
Okay. Happy to roll. Let's go back to Dudley. Dimble saying the Southgate effect as well. Love it. We are seeing changes from the hill. So Southgate is being taken off already. Del Piero coming on. West going 1 at the back. Del Piero left of 3 up top. Oh, sorry, no, let me just change that. Going left of 3 up top. So I presume, Steve, you want it looking a bit like that. What do you make of that, Ian, if that is correct?
That certainly worries me more than if he just went as is, because
it just looks like Ian's connection's dropped.
I think for myself, very. So that's somebody trying to phone me again. Fucking hell.
Very popular man. Steve's confirmed that is correct. So let's play 260 as we kick off the second half. Dudley trying everything they can to get themselves back in it. Del Piero with the chat. Oh, that's too early. Sorry, 58. I've done one too early there, but we'll do it anyway. Petkov maintaining his 9 rating. No one below a 7 for you there, Ian. Fitness doesn't look an issue.
I'll just roll, mate. I'll keep rolling. Please, Fyfie.
As for Dudley, struggling to see what else they can do. Does Hersey improve the side? For me, not really. Could he offer something anywhere? Maybe just altering it, but I actually think Steele probably stay as is as well. What did you make of the 3 up top?
It's I have to be honest. I missed a bit of that game with this country trying to phone me again, but he's not scored, which makes me a lot more feel a lot more comfortable. And if he'd grabbed a goal there, I think now chances are we might just about see it out. Our ratings are pretty good. Didn't feel the need to make any changes. I don't think there's much else he can do now. So as I say, I think if he got that goal, I would have been a lot more worried. So barring an absolute collapse, I'm quite happy with this.
Okay, well, let's see. And there is 3. It's Del Vecchio with his 10th of the season. Certainly no need to slow this one down. Duggan mentioned earlier the pressure on Dudley because of some of the earlier results, and they are buckling under it. That is for sure. Del Piero goes in the book. Still looking for a 4 for Haggis. Big result this for them, given Byrne dropping points earlier. Will they get their 4th? Will Dudley get a consolation? Full-time whistle goes. A comprehensive 3-0 win for the home side, and very much deserved. You have royally done Dudley Hill there.
I think so. It was night and day for our last match anyway. Like Del Vecchio getting a 5 or whatever it was, and just really all round poor. So I'm delighted with that bouncing back. We needed it with East Coast winning and Byrne picking up a point, so we did need that. Hard lines to see. I think the early injury and stuff in Southgate coming and getting a 5, it's a bit shit for him. So hard lines. But aye, delighted to remain top for another week.
Absolutely. Quick look at the player stats. Del Vecchio, unsurprisingly, getting man of the match. 5 players rating a 9, including Robert Perez, who has been spoken about a lot this season. Yes, the cat. Everything is back, Martin. How it should be. Yeah, Duggan as well, saying the cat. He pops up on FRI when I do the podcast as well. Yeah, Dimble, cat. Duggan saying Fyfie cat klaxon, full on 2021. Good night, Steve. Apologies that you've had to wait all night just to see that, but congratulations to yourself, Ian. So a look at the classifieds then. Coast winning 1-0 against Stanley, despite dominating for large parts of the game. My Exile side somehow, after throwing away the lead twice, just about beat Fulchester 3-2 after Rocks made wholesale changes. We've just seen Haggis beat Dudley Hill 3-0 in a big result for the race for top 6. Santos picking up a point at home to Northern Byrne. What else we got? Sancte, this was, for me, game of the night to see how this one panned out. You just didn't know. We said at the start it could go either way, and it really did. Sancte going from 2-0 down to win 3-2. Sloths started the night off with a 2-1 win at home to Foss Road in what was an entertaining game. And Vikings having a goal disallowed, ultimately losing 3-1 at Stackington. I heard about you and your activities with Cats Fyfie. Tater and the Sloth podcast tells all. Yeah, don't necessarily believe all you hear. Just because I'm a single man in his 30s and I have a cat, people assume the worst. I can tell you, he gets thrown away a lot more than he gets. But there we go. Haggis and East Coast get their cues tonight. Congratulations to both sides. They are in the end of season playoffs. Northern Byrne all but there. They are on the 40-point mark as well, but just not quite official. Exiles move up to 4th on 34. Badgers 33 in 5th. Dudley keep their top 6 spot despite losing on 29. But then look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides just 1 point behind them. Sancte, Stackington, Sloths and Fulchester all on 28. A win away from being above the dotted line are Foss and Vikings on 26. Stanley certainly not out the race with 4 games to go on 24. And Santos edging closer towards that 20-point mark. Let's have a look at the next round of fixtures. Now, for clarity, unless anyone has a better idea, it would mean a lot to a lot of people. I think that we do conclude this season. So I have said that I am happy to keep the save and play on unless anyone has some real objections. If there are objections, then by all means, someone else do it. But I will take it on to make sure this season gets finished. I will try as best as I possibly can to maintain the Thursday, Sunday routine that everyone's got to see it through. Beyond that, I've been talking to a couple of people today. I have a suggestion. If anyone else wants to put forward a suggestion for the future of the Super League, drop me a message and we can sort something out. If failing, but like I say, I have got the makings of an idea. I just need to work on a few other bits. Because none of us, regardless of who you are or what your beliefs are in what's gone before, none of us want the CMSL to die. And we have to keep it going one way or another. Paul, thank you very much for your comments tonight, Paul. Appreciate it. He said, great show. We've got to keep it going. We do indeed. Appreciate that, Fyfie. Good show. Thank you, Dimble. Appreciate that. Alf saying, good comms duo. Well done. Bit of praise there for you, Ian. Good show, lads. Play Fyfie. Thank you, Duggan. Appreciate that. So, yes, I will maintain this for the end of the season and then moving forward. Like I say, I have an idea, but if anyone else wants their chance, then by all means drop me a message. I now have full access to the Super League Twitter and email, so everything will kind of go through me again until at least the end of the season. So on Sunday, we've got Badgers Haggis, big game that. Dudley Vikings, Coast X. Oh, God. I did not need to see Coast away on my fixture list. Foss Road Santos, Burn Sancte could be juicy. Stackington Fulchester, Stanley Sloths. We wanted to see how many lost in a row, didn't we? So team stats, games lost in a row. Fulchester are now on 9, which I believe we decided is now a new official record for games lost in a row. Up the Immortal Super League, indeed, Martin. Let's go. Games without losing. Am I really on 8? I didn't think it was anywhere near 8.
Go on, told you, mate. Told you.
Games without winning, Fulchester on 9. Yeah, Duggan confirming new record. 8 was the previous. People do like to have a look through some of these. Let me just go player stats. Say Roberto, top average rated player. Goals and Penza and Van Nistelrooy both on 12. A host of players just behind them on 11. No surprise to me that I've got nobody in the top 14.
Spreading them out, mate. Spreading them out.
Assists, Giggs on 12 up the top. Pires and Zé Roberto, his closest challenger. Yellow cards, Davids on 9, Zales 8 are the main culprits. Red cards, only Nicky Butt has had more than 1. And for those who love the percentages, a quick flick through these for you. As I say, next show will be Sunday. I will do packs tomorrow before I do FRI. And I will continue speaking to a couple of people about my proposal for next season. But again, if anyone wants to put anything forward, just drop me a line on CMSL. I'm going to try and get my head around who's managing who in the next round. If I could have, if people can make it as easy for me as possible, I'd very much appreciate it. But Ian, thank you for behaving. Thank you for some excellent co-coms tonight. You have been very good value, at least for me, I believe. And thank you to everyone in the chat. I know we had some quite decent numbers, viewing figures at times, and we've had some excellent comments in the chat. Very much appreciate it for everybody. All that's left to say, Viva the Super League. We will never die. Good night.
Everybody.